opening up the keyhole and just looking outside. I'm like, no. So then you get into the whole industry of like adult films. Was it what you expected doing your first scene? So you had me doing moonsaults off the top rope.
Oh my God.
I have implants.
I feel like I know him from somewhere. Why?
Why not?
I mean, I thought about it for a long while before I did it. I mean, I got a lot of uproar from the whole industry, but who are they to judge me?
Yeah, I mean, what are they?
They can all go to hell. They don't pay my bills.
No, you got a point.
And that's that.
Hello, happy St. Paddy's Day. Erin Gobra. Is it Erin Gobra? Look at the Irish. Hi, Scott. Hi, BX Rep. Hi, Cappy Caveman. Thank you so much for the membership. Hey, Paul. How are you? Welcome. It is St. Paddy's Day. Hi, Jim. Thank you so much for joining. This is a fun one. I mean, all day. Okay, look. I did not dress in green today, but I did get this from my local pub. It's a Jameson's thing, I guess. So whatever. Yeah. So welcome. Welcome to this episode of Off the Rails with Jasmine St. Clair. And obviously we do this every Monday. It is the more relaxed podcast as, we're just casual. I might be a bit tipsy because all day long I've been just punch drunk on that one song when Irish Eyes singing. I don't know. Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm not meant to be singing or anything like that. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is this, of course, for updates and videos. There's a huge library on here. And of course, every Wednesday, Crazy Train podcast with Jasmine St. Clair. That's crazy with a K. My God, why would I spell it like everyone else? That is so boring. Hey, Jamal, how are you this fine Monday? I'm glad you guys are actually staying in for now and hanging out for the stream instead of being out there with the amateur alcoholics, because that is not fun. It's St. Paddy's Day. What are we supposed to be celebrating? I mean, I like going out and doing things and being social, but even at 12 in the afternoon, 1 in the afternoon, people were already drunk. These people either don't have a job or they're just playing the fool in the middle of the day. It makes no sense to me because as far as I know, like all my friends have jobs, everyone else around them. But today we have a very special guest. And as a lot of you know, I love having babes of the 90s and, current day babes on my podcast, on the live stream at least, because they're fun. And everyone likes to interact with the girls. Of course, you do have to behave yourselves. Hola, Ben Espinosa, ¿cómo estás? What else is going on? Yes, everyone's asking. So WrestleMania weekend is less than a month away. Oh no, it's right. It's like a month away. Duh. I have the great Muta as my guest on Friday and Saturday. Hey, Michael, how are you? And then obviously I'll be at the table. I don't know if I'll be signing stuff. But then the week after that, that Saturday of WrestleMania, I'm at the Juggalo Championship Wrestling Show. It's midnight on Saturday. So I guess I'll be going straight to the hotel, taking a nap, getting up, and doing the show. And then the last week of April is Juggalo Championship Wrestling in Joliet, Illinois, or Rockford, Illinois, Joliet, Columbus, and then Cleveland, then Columbus. It's on the JCW site, but it's been a great time being there so far. Like I've had a lot of fun. I know that people are joining the stream slowly but surely, and I appreciate you all. And don't forget to subscribe on here, leave comments, and rate and review my podcast on iTunes. Hi, John Jay. How are you? I hope you're, staying out of trouble today. I'm assuming you are because you're here and you're not in a bar causing havoc or causing some kind of chaos. I was looking at that whole Gene Hackman death. I thought it was kind of selfish. Like you bring kids into the world, they're not even checking in on you. No matter how much of an awful, like drunk or parent you were at one point, you could at least check in. Kids should be checking in on you, right? I think so. So I'm reading this article, right? So authorities continue to discover new details surrounding the deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa. On Monday, investigators revealed that Arakawa likely died at least one day later than they previously estimated by phone records. I guess she was found on the floor in a bathroom. He was in the mudroom. They said that Hackman died of heart disease with Alzheimer's, and he died a week after Arakawa, who had contracted a fatal case of hantavirus, which is spread by rodent droppings. How do you have rodent droppings in your house that long? You know, it's like, it's ridiculous. No one checked on these people. They're elderly parents. Who gives a fuck if your parents are assholes to you or maybe said a few things that weren't that great? You check in on them. How selfish. I hope his kids didn't get anything in the will. Arakawa made calls to the doctor's office. Cladbury helped to make an appointment for the afternoon. She reported feeling congested but showed no signs of respiratory distress. She did not show for her appointment. Well, duh, she was dead. Or close to it. So yeah, you know, apparently she passed away. The dogs were dead. It's sad that this stuff happens, you know? Hey, Jim, I finally figured out how to enter the chat. Yes, Gene Hackman had wonderful kids, real wonderful, absolutely. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, Paul Corbin will go into some of the comments. I gotta watch the latest episode of JCW Lunacy. Can't wait for this week's episode. Neither can I. And yeah, John Jay's on here saying that he actually calls his dad every day, which you should. You know, here's a very valid point. Did they have a housekeeper? Hey, Christian, you know, the dog dying really hurt my feelings. Mine too, because animals are innocent, you know, and they just get caught in the crossfire of whatever it is that happens. Apparently, Gene Hackman had shithead kids. I really hope they don't get any money. I hope that there was some kind of change in the will. I mean, fuck, leave the money to the dog. Did anyone ever see that special on Netflix, Gunther? It was about a dog who had an inheritance from his family or his owner, and he had all these grifters around him that were in on the take. Like, people were looking after the dog's estate. He had like 10 people tending to him. And trust me, they were slimy looking. Hey, Christian. Christian, I think Christian's been on the stream before. I don't know. But anyway, happy St. Patty's Day. Look at the Irish to you, or whatever. When Irish eyes is singing. Okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry. I'm taken aback by the whole Irish culture thing. Yeah. Anyway, tonight's guest, Kiki D'Aire, who it kind of surprises me. You get a lot of girls that were around in the 90s. Yeah, Gunther's Millions, Tom. That's the one. Gunther's Millions, with those slimy people taking care of this poor dog. And Gunther's Millions. That's the name of it. Yeah. And it's a must see. I mean, I wonder what do you do if you don't have kids and you just have animals in your life? Like, do you leave everything to your pets? After watching Gunther's Millions, I wouldn't leave a fucking dime, because you don't know who looks after your animal and who's benefiting from your money, right? Anyway, it fascinates me these days when you have girls that are new in the adult film business and they're not as like groomed or not as glamorous as the older gals in it. Kiki came onto my podcast, I think last year. We were talking about AVN, and I don't know like how she sustains her longevity in the business. There's some girls that do, some girls that don't, but clearly she has a passion for it, or she wouldn't be around the conventions or, you know, doing content, because OnlyFans is quite a challenge, as we know. I don't know how these girls do it. I mean, I still say to date, a lot of the newer girls lie about the money they, you know, they make. Like, you had those Thoughts, Lily Phillips, and what's that other Thoughts name? That little dote, Bonnie Blue, who scheduled my podcast 3 times and just decided, oh, well, I can't do it. I'm sick. Then what the fuck were you sick from? Were you doing another gangbang and caught something? Anywho, they claimed they made like $50 million in 1 month. Okay, I highly doubt that. And if you did, here's the thing. This is where Elon Musk comes into play. If you made that type of money, do you file taxes on it? And if you were shooting porn in the States, do you pay taxes on it? Like, I'm sure the British government would be very interested in knowing what their earnings are. But I find that there's more of an authenticity with some of these girls that I worked that were around in the 90s, like the Kikis, the Nikkis, the Dominiques, girls like that. Plus, I think that Kiki was one of the few blondes. She just had that really pretty dimples and the nice smile, but she did some really rockin' scenes. And that's one thing I admire about a lot of girls back then. It seemed like they were doing things that they actually wanted to do. Nowadays, it seems like it's so forced. But there's like a small collective group of girls out there that actually enjoy working in the business. And, you know, those are the only ones that are invited on here. Usually I just look at their photos and I could tell if someone's a total bitch or if they're going to be a problem. Exactly. Most make no money. Here's Jim. If you made 50 million, you'd retire. Of course. If that's the word that you're using is if, you know, but we'll check in with Kiki and see what her experience was this year with AVN, the business, and, you know, this whole content creation. I also heard a rumor that there's now an AI company making AIs of performers in the business. So how does that work if you have an AI twin? So is it kind of like creating new content of yourself without creating it, but having this AI do it? And then what happens if you decide you no longer want that AI twin out there doing the dirty? What happens to prior content? Does it get deleted? You know, it's an interesting concept. A company from England had approached me about doing an AI twin of me. So I just, you know, is that Kiki? Yeah. So that's why I just don't mess with that type of stuff, because you don't know. And like, you don't know if it could be held against you, because I'm looking at other options now, other things. And we all know that I have the Jasmine St. Clair show coming up soon on Rumble and Maverick Broadcasting. And who knows what that'll lead to, because eventually my goal is to work for the European Broadcasting Network in about 4 years from now as an anchor. And that's based in Switzerland. So it's perfect because I speak enough languages to get by and do the work. Let's see. So I'm trying to see where Kiki is. I hope she got the link. She has an amazing publicist, Jim Steele, because he's not out there taking selfies with his, you know, with his clients like some people do. He's actually out there promoting. Let's see. Here's a very interesting concept. Tom Duffy, if anyone agrees to do an AI likeness, make sure you keep your IP. So I wonder how that works, because these contracts are worded so, it's so nebulous, the wording on there, right? And I know in one part of the contract they presented with me, oh, she's in green. Of course she is. I see Kiki's tits and she's in green. Yeah, you know what? It's like, here, I'm just like, I don't know. Should I be like in a tan skin suit and a green necklace? Like, I feel like taking my top off and just wearing this necklace, you know, but I'm not going to do that because I actually have, you know, dignity or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, Kiki's here, guys. So let's talk to her about everything she's doing and about these other things, these other concepts. Jim's happy now. Hi, Mike. Jim's awesome. Okay, Michael, because Jim is not a publicist. Jim is a good publicist, like Brian Gross. Those are like two of the only publicists I see that do not glorify themselves over their clients. They don't try to overshadow them. And Jim is actually super hardworking, so we like Jim. All right, let's bring in Miss Green Titties on here. Hi, happy St. Patty's Day. Oh my God, look at you! You've got the red hair and the green shirt. Woo!
Yeah, it's been a long day. We've actually been getting ready for Katie's birthday party. So, and that's on top of all the errands today. So I'm just like,
whose birthday party?
Katie Morgan.
Oh my God, I remember Katie. She's another babe of the 90s. I totally have not connected with her. I've always wanted to, like, I tried to connect with her at one point because I think she'd be a lot of fun to talk to. Jamal says, hey, I love your movies. So,
hi, Jamal, and thank you so much.
Yeah, this is cute. Oh my God, I love this. Yeah, this is the only green thing I have on.
Well, normally I wouldn't be wearing green. It's not a color I really wear, but I got this top and like some leggings for St. Patty's Day. So we went down to the strip and did like some content. And of course, the girl I was with had on like this super low cut top. She had just gotten like 1,200 cc's. And so this is on Saturday, and like the drunk guy was so annoying. I finally looked at him like, dude, can you just go the fuck away? And he was like, wow, you're mean. I'm like, no, I'm just sick of your shit. Now get lost. We're busy.
No, that's is it Ava Devine by any chance?
No, it was not Ava Devine. It was Zoe Fox that happened with.
I think I saw her photos. Hellstrom's like, okay, you got green on your tattoos. Sure, that helps. Paul says, happy St. Patty's Day. I feel so out of it now because I don't have green on. There's nothing green on me at all except my necklace.
But that's okay. They still can't pinch you because you got the green necklace.
Look at the Irish. When Irish eyes are singing. Okay, I have to do this. I've been on this kick all day of a cartoony voice singing. When Irish eyes are singing. I don't know. Okay. But I think of my stuffed toy cat singing.
Your stuffed toy cat?
Her name is Sock St. Clair, and she's black and white. It's a stuffed toy cat. It's not like taxiderm cat. And she has these fake voices. And she was at the bar drinking green beer. It was ginger ale with green dye, and she thought it was green beer. No, I just made that up. She wasn't at a bar.
Funny.
I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. So tell us what were you just at AVN?
It was just at AVN.
How was it?
It was really good. I mean, it was busy. I wound up hosting the white party along with Gal Gadot and a couple other people. So that was not exactly my cup of tea. I hate clubs. But
Really?
I mean, it was fun to watch my agent get drunk because he never does that. So that was kind of entertaining.
Oh, wait, Gal Gadot was there? Gal Gadot was in Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot?
Oh, not Gal Gadot. Gal Ritchie. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. My brain is not all there. So I'm probably going to get some names messed up today. I'll probably like say some things backwards. Sorry, guys.
No, but that's so tell me about the party because I remember hosting those. Trust me, I do not want to be in a club now. It's probably like we get later in like much later on in life. We don't want to be messing with clubs and fuckery.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really busy. I mean, it was like this in there, and then an agency VIP area, like right across from the DJ, and it was like this. I'm just like, oh, get me out of here. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, the girls were dancing, having a good time, like everybody's drinking, but I guess they shut down the party early because the rumor was that like some people got into a fight or something. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
You're around the testosterone and alcohol and God knows what else is bound to be a fight somehow. That's just so stupid, though.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this year was the first year back at the old Hard Rock. It's now the Virgin, which, is kind of depressing. It's kind of like, one of the Indian casinos in Arizona where you're like, oh, wow, this is not fun. So it doesn't have the same kind of atmosphere that the Hard Rock always had. And, obviously, because people don't understand that it's a casino and you have to cover your butthole and your boobs and everything else, they're very strict about dress code now. So, I mean, they were kicking girls off the red carpet left and right before they walked because they didn't like their dress. Like, it was insane.
Yeah, but when you and I were doing this, like when I was back in the business then and we were going to those award shows, we didn't dress with our shit hanging out. We had like real clothes.
Yeah. And I mean, I get that like times have changed, but laws haven't. I mean, you walk around with, things not covered, you get busted for indecency. Like, I mean, it's kind of like the math at that point, So I don't know. It's insane.
I feel as though you should be having a seminar for the younger girls on how to dress and etiquette for the award show. I feel like you'd be perfect for that. Me, I'm just a bitch. I'd be flat out, no, you look like a hoe. Go. What's that?
So there was this girl, I'm not going to say her name because I'm not going to be like that, but she was online complaining about the dress code. And here's the thing, right? Because they have so many people that are walking around, being told to dress code people, it wasn't uniform. Like you would see one girl wearing an outfit, then you would see another girl wearing something similar, and the second girl would get kicked out because she wasn't up to code, right? So there was a lot of confusion. And there was this one girl that was trying to organize a group of girls to set up outside of the convention next year so they could wear whatever they want. And I was like, you do realize that's a one-way trip to jail, right? Because the casino security is going to be all over you so fast, and they're not even going to bother to tell you to put clothes on. They're just going to tell you to leave and never come back. like, like just the thought that anybody would think that that's okay drives what? Like, why would you think that's okay? You're in the most regulated city in the US because of alcohol and gaming.
I say let them do it. Let them do it. Let their asses go to jail and let them spend the night in jail, and they don't come back to the convention the next day. They don't have to grace you with their presence. And I'm all for it, guys. Jim put in a little comment here. The glam of the 90s was awesome. Yes, but I really feel as though, Jim, that we need to get on this and get like a seminar together to groom these girls properly. Because I saw some of it. These are outfits I wear to like the ring, in a wrestling ring. And they're cute and everything. They're a little bit, questionable, but I wouldn't wear it to an AVN show. That's like a gown.
It's just too much, because here's the thing, right? Now girls are walking around the show floor in, lingerie. And I'm like, why would you want to do that in harsh convention lighting? Every single flaw you have is going to be amplified by like 100. Like I don't want people to see that, my ass isn't completely perfect. Thank you very much. Like, why would you want somebody to see that?
It's just a different genre of what we're dealing with. And just what John Jay said on here, let's go to the comments. Take a look at the Grammys. Yeah, I say so. Paul's got a question for you. Kiki, thoughts on today's adult film stars versus the 90s glamorous adult stars?
Oh man, on one hand, the internet has been great because it has allowed a large variety of tastes to be represented. And you know what? Let's be honest. Not everybody likes the same type of woman. Now, that said, I miss not having to do social media as my second job. I miss going to sets where we were treated very, very well, and there was something other than a single McDonald's hamburger. I miss costumes. I miss getting a 30-page script or two before my shoot and actually playing a character. I do not miss being mom or step aunt or having to hide behind a piece of luggage and pretend I don't see the BJ going on in front of me. Like, I don't miss those things. Like it's so very different. I don't miss the algorithms dictating who gets hired and who doesn't. There's so many things. I could go on and on and on, but I'm happy for the variety, but I'm also not very happy about some of the changes that come with it.
It seems like there are a million different categories for nominations now.
There's some really interesting nominations out there, is the best way I can put that one.
Best hang toenail in the business? I mean,
dude, I'm starting to wonder if there's going to be like a category for like, hottest girl with 5 fingers or something crazy. Like, hottest girl with an extra toe. I mean, who knows at this point?
Let's go over here. So Giuseppe says, I love you, Kiki. Then John Jay says that, you guys do wear more at AVN than at the Grammys, which is true. So Hellstrom wants to know did I never work with Kylie Ireland. Did you ever work with Kylie Ireland in the 90s? Speaking of Irish.
I didn't work with Kylie, but I do know her and I love her to death. Like, she's a lot of fun. She's really funny. She's got some great stories.
Sure.
Yeah, she's fun.
So what did you do this year at AVN? Whose booth were you signing at? And do you have any contract that you're?
So I was at Next Level's booth, which is my agency. And then that was actually a lot of fun. I mean, we weren't in like the most amazing spot, but we had a great time, so that's all good in my book. And, people came by and said hello. I actually ran out of some of the magazines I had brought. So that was nice to like be getting those out into you guys' hands. Speaking of magazines, I just did the cover of FHM France, and that's out this month. So that's pretty exciting. Yay! I'm finally getting copies of the Playboy feature I did for Playboy Sweden. So I'm like, yay! The layout. So I'm excited.
That's awesome. And how did those layouts come about? Was it the workings of your publicist?
No, actually, those layouts came about because I happen to know one of the photographers that works with those companies a lot. And so we made all of that happen. And then I also work with Ashley at Ratnip.
That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. Tom Duffy says, sounds similar to publishing. We have to do the bulk marketing ourselves as opposed to a decade or so ago, which is true. It's difficult. I feel as though to come out with a book or something, unless you self-publish, it just seems like a real shit show. Are you coming out with a book anytime soon?
Oh man, everybody says I should, and I just haven't really worked on that. There's been some other stuff that I've kind of been more concentrating on. I mean, there's kind of a lifelong dream that's happening later in the year. So I'm really excited for that. I don't know if I can talk about it yet, but what I am going to say is, starting with the Playboy feature was really cool. So the Next Level is really good too.
I'm excited. Now it's not what we talked about in an email, right? When I emailed you that day. Twins.
I would have to check. Well, there's like multiple things going on, but if it was something I mentioned that was coming up in December, then yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
No, you didn't tell me about that. I know I was talking to you about something else, another thing, a project, and they're developing it in Texas. Your project in Texas.
In Texas.
AI.
Yeah. So that's relaunching actually. Okay. I'm not sure exactly when it's launching, but my AI chatbot is relaunching with Spicy AI, and they're amazing people. They're just, so fun. And the picture that they did for St. Patty's Day was really cute. Like like the little green lingerie and the hat. I'm all like, oh, yeah, it was cute.
Vanessa's on here. Free your Lucky Charms. Hellstrom says, I miss the great box covers of the 90s. Don't we all? Because that would be like a whole day project, right? Like I was under contract, so I'd have that day to do hair and makeup, do the box cover, and then go home. Remember, what was it like for you doing box covers back then?
Sometimes it was the same thing. Most of the time it was just the luck of the draw, and they took a photo that they really liked and boom, there you are. And you're like, oh, cool. I mean, that just happened. I saw a box cover for something that just came out that I was like, oh, look, there I am.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like the last, I think, 48 hours have been just nonstop. Oh, I had no idea I was being inducted into the Urban X Hall of Fame this year.
Oh, cool.
2 nights ago.
Congratulations. That's so awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Great.
Now, is that in LA? They have that?
Yeah, that's going to be in August.
Okay, if I'm in town, I'll come out. But I'll probably see you before then in Vegas. So BX Rep wants to know, do you think the fans who see you are more appreciative of you now or during your initial ascent into the industry?
There's kind of a mix. There's the ones that won't shut up about what I used to look like. And some of them are quite, complimentary, and some of them are really unhappy that, I'm not 20 and blonde anymore. And I'm like, dude, get over it. Life happens. Like, I mean, I'm sure you didn't want to be bald and fat either. So, but, but
I'm stealing that. I'm stealing it. I have to steal it.
yeah, go right ahead. But I mean, for the most part, people understand and are totally cool and appreciate, um, the older, wiser me, which, I'm down with that. That's kind of fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, being 20 was fun, but yeah, I like, I don't know. I like life a lot better now.
Yeah, I think as we get older, we appreciate so many things. Michael wants to know if you have any more horror films on the horizon. Las Vegas Frankenstein 2.
I don't think we're going to be doing that, but I'm sure that there will be a lot of fun stuff coming up. Tom always has great ideas, and we have a really good time when we all get together and work on stuff.
And Paul wants to know who your favorite adult actors and actresses are to work with, or that you've worked with before.
Oh man, there's so many. This question is always so hard because I have to sit here and go, wait, how do I narrow this down? All of the stuff that I did with Antonio Pasolini from VCA was fantastic. Like, I love him. The all-girl scene that I did with Ginger Lynn looking on, that was a great time. The scene that I did with Evan and another girl, I forget her name, for Captain Mongo's Porno Playhouse was a blast. Just because I had just went to the circus, I was tripping on acid and thought that, like, banging a clown would be a lot of fun. And then Tony calls me and goes, "Hey, I have this movie." And I'm like, yes. And he goes, "You haven't heard what it is yet." I'm like, "No, but it's you. So yes." And he goes, No, you have to hear it. Okay, fine. What is it? So you're going to be doing a scene with Evan and this girl, and he's playing a dirty, drug addicted, homeless, drunk clown. And I'm like, I'm in. So I got to live out a weird, twisted fantasy. It was fun.
I think everyone has the clown stuff in some movie, like Rob Black did. Then he had the graveyard scene, the Jesus Christ crucifix scene. Like, he's had a bunch of crazy stuff. Okay, so Michael says he knows the scene. Alexandra Nice, Kiki D'Aire, and Evan Stone. Evan Stone's
Yep.
still around, I heard.
I don't really know what's going on with Evan. I mean, he was around, and then things got kind of weird, and so we don't really know where he is right now.
It seems like a lot of things get weird with these people from that generation, like Peter North and everything. Yeah, I feel as though, like, right now we're in a whole different mindset of girls coming into the conventions and so forth, right? So did you find it hard to get along with anyone this year when you went to the convention? And I know last year it was outside, so this year it was indoors, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Did I find it hard to get along with anybody? Not really, because usually the ones that I'm not that into, I just avoid. like, I'll see somebody coming the direction I'm going, and I'm like, yeah, maybe not, and just turn. Be like, okay.
You know about this? Yeah, I couldn't. I don't know. I give you cahoots for all that, 'cause I could not. I couldn't survive an AVN. I was thinking of going just to say hi to everyone one year, just walk the convention floor, but they wanted to charge me for a fucking pass.
Yeah,
That's my ass. I'm not gonna pay for a pass to an AVN show. You've got to be high on crack, man. There's no way.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, I'm lucky because my partner is, now talent as well. So, he was able to walk the red carpet with me, and, he was at the booth with me, and, they actually thought it would be funny to make his name on his badge Mr. Kiki.
Yes.
Which we cracked up. We thought it was funny. So
I like that idea. I think it's awesome. So it probably makes shooting OnlyFans content a lot easier for you now.
Yeah, it does. And it's fun too because he has his own. So, he not only is, support for me, but he gets to have his own fun. So it makes for a much more balanced relationship.
That's so interesting. I can't I don't know. I think it's cute somehow. It really is. It's cute. Like there's some people that are in the business that marry a civilian or date a civilian, right? And then they talk them into doing OnlyFans. Was that your situation?
No. So
Okay.
I was married to a civilian and it just did not work out at all. We're very different people and that's fine. And so when I divorced my ex-husband, I just on a whim asked my current partner out and we've been together ever since. And, he's a kinky man. He's all about like seeing his woman bang other dudes and other women. So, it works out really well for us because, he has somebody now that is totally okay with that. And I have support and, he edits. I don't want to edit. So it's great.
Yeah, what's the point of editing? You can be getting your nails done or doing something important with your time, please. 100%. No, that's good. That works out. I don't know what the AVN would be like next year, but I would like to try to come by and say hi to everyone. But I'm not paying for a pass again. So, were there any expectations you had this year, award-wise, at AVN?
No. I knew that this year wasn't going to be an award year. I'm hoping that, this coming year will be because there's been so much good stuff released. And, I'm really proud of the work that I've done. So, yeah, I want to see that actually happen this time around.
Tell us some of the releases that you have coming out or that you're looking forward to.
Well, I just had 3 releases with Ricky Greenwood that came out. There was one for Pure Taboo, which was She Learned the Hard Way. It was actually my first DP in a lot of years. We'll just leave it at that. And it was a lot of fun, though. It was a great time shooting that. And then I did A Mommy's Girl that came out, I think, like a week before that one. And then what was the other one? Oh God, there was another one. I just shot another scene for Perv Nana, which we had a good time. I mean, I'm really interested to see how that one comes out. So, I mean, there's just been just thing after thing, which has been really nice.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you're busy. I'm glad you got those magazines. I think that's awesome. The furthest I got with Playboy was Brazilian Playboy and French Playboy, never like Swedish Playboy. And I lived over there for so long. So I'm just like, what the fuck? It's so random. But I think it's great. I'm glad you got it though, more than anything else, because you're cool and you're from my favorite era of the industry. Paul wants to know what your thoughts are on Slava Siderman. Have you worked with Slava?
I love Slava.
Of course, who doesn't love Slava? He's king.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a good guy and he's so creative. I mean, that's one of the things I love about him. As a matter of fact, we were talking and he has a project coming up that he was like, I want you to play this role. I'm like, yes, just let me know when. So I'm excited to work with him again.
He shoots all of my wrestling promo photos. I'm supposed to shoot with him. And there's a ghost in here. I swear to God. It's like the weirdest thing. I don't like ghosts, by the way. Spirit be gone. You don't belong here anymore. Anyway. Yeah, Slava is great. He's done all my wrestling photos. So we're shooting on Thursday. So I will tell him I spoke to you. Tom Duffy. He's great. Yeah. Tom wants to know what some of the biggest changes in the industry between now and earlier, like both positive and negative. Here, I'll post it up here because it's quite a mouthful for me, which is a lot to say.
Between now, positive. Well, I mean, magazines used to pay.
Oh,
I mean, granted, they didn't pay a lot, but they did pay. There used to be over 230 companies shooting in the Valley every single day. Now there's 30, maybe a little less. They're all owned by the same two companies. So unless, you're in good with the two main companies, you're not working. And I mean, and even then, if you are, unless you're one of maybe the 20 or 30 girls they hire constantly, you're still not working the majority of the time. Directors don't really get the chance to choose their own talent anymore. Like there's one director I know of that has that luxury, but the rest of them have to get talent approved. Even if they need a last minute replacement, it has to go through, whatever parent company before they can hire somebody.
Really?
Go ahead.
Really?
Really? Yeah. That's a true thing. The other thing that is kind of really just, shitty is when I started, dude, you had to basically have like, your arm hanging off severed at a joint if you were gonna not show up for a shoot. Like, I mean, it didn't matter what your excuse was, people didn't care. You were expected to be there. Now the rate of, cancellations is just insane. And I'm not talking just with, collaborations of cancellations are nuts. So that's rather frustrating. And back when I started, you could make a living for at least a few years just shooting movies. You didn't have to do anything else. You didn't have to do social media. You didn't have to, come up with dumb skits for TikTok or, Mushu or whatever frickin' app everybody's on this week. Because it didn't exist. So, I miss that part. Like I miss being an actual actor.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. And yes, that's totally what it was. You're so focused on your craft that was your core. You didn't have to go into this whole other world of like Snapchat and whatever the new one is this week, lemon or limes. Hellstrom wants to know, did you ever? Oh, I did Night Moves. Yes, he wanted to know if you ever did Night Moves magazine.
Yeah, I actually just did a layout for Night Moves magazine last year, but I used to attend the show, and this is so funny. So I see Paul at Exotica Miami last year, and I'm like, Paul, why haven't you had me back? And he's all, well, you hadn't asked. I'm like, yes, I have. I've been asking you. And he was like, wait a minute. And a little while later, he goes, you're that one girl. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, and he says my real name. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I didn't realize that was you messaging me. I just want to be like, oh, how many years did you buy my plane ticket to my Night Moves?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he didn't realize he was talking to me.
Easy.
But I mean, I love Paul and Tracy, so hopefully we'll get that squared away. And the next time I talk to him, he'll remember it's me, and I can actually attend the show again.
I mean, you should be on the cover, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be. Seriously.
So
next,
yeah,
that was your Night Moves experience.
Well, that was the last Night Moves experience.
He's got to get moving on the Night Move cover with you. So yes, Tracy, you got moving on that Night Move cover with Kiki. Or crazy things will happen at night. I don't know. Nesh wants. I'm just being goofy today. I'm telling you, it's the look of the Irish when Irish eyes is singing. Okay. Nesh wants to know. The young guys in porn are terrible. Yeah, I'm sure. No wonder why Michael Stefano is in his 50s and still working. Dude, I wonder if he uses Viagra.
I haven't worked with Luch. Oh wait, not Luch anymore. Sorry. I haven't worked with Michael Stefano in years. We keep talking about it and it just hasn't happened. But yes, the young guys are terrible. And I'm sure I'm going to get some hate for that. But you know what? I'm sorry. If you're 22 and you're using Viagra, you have no business shooting porn. Like the guys in the 90s were in the early 2000s were so great because they didn't use Viagra. They could just go into their brain, find something beautiful, and do the scene. So yeah, there's no comparison.
Well, hang on a second. This is going to go into something that I just thought of. My light bulb went off. The Jasmine light bulb on St. Patty's Day. Do you think, and I'm saying this because you have so many of these guys that are military age that should be in the military fighting, and they're doing these stupid TikTok videos. They're in their early 20s. Do you think these guys are just lazy and can't do anything with themselves and they just choose to pop Viagra and shoot porn? Because I don't think they have soul. That's my personal opinion.
I think that, there's a younger generation that has seen the business glamorized so much that they just have no concept of what it actually is. And then they get in and go, oh, well, this isn't what I thought it was. And wait, I have to actually do the job. And once you put something on the internet sexual, you're never going to get away from it. Like, I mean, it follows you for the rest of your life. So, I mean, that one scene is going to, or that one clip, even if it's just of you and a fleshlight, is going to alter your entire life trajectory. So, maybe some of them do it and then can't really get away from it because it's done. And maybe some of them just are lazy. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to even pretend to understand young guys. I mean, my husband was 40 and yeah, no, it was like having a kid. Like, no, thanks.
Wait, he's 40?
My ex-husband was, yeah.
Oh, that's too old. Okay. So yeah, that basically sums it up with these guys then. I mean, I think they're better off doing their stupid TikTok videos. I think a lot of people, you touched on something with people have certain expectations of the business. So I had this thing with Bonnie Blue.
Okay.
And Amy Phillips. I think she got scared to come on my podcast because I went after them and I was just being Jasmine and I went after them in one of those I think it was the Daily Mail or the Sun, and she got really petrified to come on the show. She canceled like 3 times. I'm like, look, your best choice right now is not to be a fucking hoe. Okay? Your best choice is just to come on and have me on your side, or I'm just gonna go after you and go rabid. So I just chose the second, which is just be Jasmine. Like times 20. And you know how bad I was back then. It's like worse as time goes on. I fucking love it. Yeah. What? Come on, right? It was fun. Well, look, she wanted to meet me for coffee, right? But didn't have time to go onto my podcast. Okay, so you want me to take time out of my day to come meet you in West Hollywood for coffee? Bitch, no. No, I'll do that after we've established some kind of vibe. But you're a fake. B-Rex, is there a dream scene you still haven't done yet, but you'd like to? And what would it be? Ooh, that's so cute.
Oh man, that's like when somebody says, so, what's your fantasy? I'm like, I don't know, a bed with like, $1 million on it that I can roll around in being left alone. I mean, fuck. Yeah, I've done so much in my life and so many things that I never would have thought of. Like some of the things that were written that I did, I was like, who thought of this? Like, I mean, I swear most of the time I go on to set for Team Skeet and the first word out of my mouth is, who wrote this? And they're like, AI. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, fine. So I mean, it's not that I don't have fantasies. It's just, yeah, I've done so much already. Like, it's hard to think of something.
There's your answer. Okay, my fantasy is this: a suite at the penthouse at Trump Plaza Hotel, strawberries and cream, champagne, and the TV and the remote.
Exactly.
In a bathrobe from having a warm bath, no phone, no electronics, and watching TV. That is my fantasy.
And my current husband next to me. Yes, that would work. That would
He
work.
said yes? Okay, that's good. Okay, as long as we have his approval too. So that's like the only that's my that's that's the Jasmine wet dream. No, my other wet dream is to be in FHM France. No. I've not even thought about being in a magazine in years, and it's weird because I just got back into pro wrestling again. So I'm saying to myself, wait a second, maybe there's something to be that I'm like not tapping into. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I
I
have
mean,
no.
I'm kind of doing it because of a couple of reasons. Like for me, you know, when we got into the business, Playboy was really off limits to us because we
Yeah.
were already doing porn, right? So, we were good enough for their television, but there was no way Hef was going to let us in the magazines. So, being approved even now just blows me away. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm taking that spot. I'm doing it. Like, give me the layouts, give me the covers. Like, yes.
No, you have to. You have to because someone else is going to do it if you don't.
Well, and also like it's a great brand to be affiliated. It's a great thing to do. Always having your name out there and reaching, other markets is amazing. You never know what's going to come from it. I mean, one of our friends, Katie was actually
Yes.
at N and somebody saw her and she wound up shooting a stream, so you never know like how things are going to unfold.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like I didn't think of any of this until you just brought it up. I'm like, wow, yeah, I never really thought about that. Because in like the late '90s, early 2000s, yeah, but like for years now, I'm like, huh, okay, no. But then you just brought it up today. I'm like, actually, hang on a second, wait. But I'm glad though that you girls are doing stuff. I'm glad that it's girls from that era, especially because I feel that everyone's so much better spoken, especially during interviews as well, and carrying yourselves and so forth. Because nowadays, when you speak to some of these younger girls, they don't what the fuck they're talking about. There's nothing interesting.
Yeah, I've heard some really, really interesting things.
Interesting things. Now, what are your thoughts on the chatbot AI? Do you think it'll affect your OnlyFans if you have a chatbot of you out there? Because I just don't understand how it works. I mean, I know how it works, but I don't know if it'll affect the OnlyFans or if it's just if guys won't use it. I don't know.
I mean, I've had some fans say that they were testing it out and using it and really enjoying it. I mean, the cool thing about the AI is that you can become any version of yourself that you want to be, right? You can, say somebody wants a custom video of you, on a yacht off the coast of France. Well, guess what? Thanks to AI, you can do it. And I don't have to be a redhead. I can be blonde again. I can be a brunette. I can have the body I had when I was, 21. I can have this body. Like, all of that is a possibility. So it's kind of cool to think about, that level of just creation. Now, as far as whether it's going to have a huge impact on OnlyFans, I don't know because OnlyFans has been kind of in a weird place ever since we got out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I am interested to see how all of that kind of unfolds myself because it's an interesting time for sure.
How do you think it's interesting? Because I think a lot of people dropped out of it after the pandemic.
Well, I mean, I would say that every time I see where they're saying that somebody just made $50 million, I'm like, yeah, right. Like, I don't believe it for a second.
$2 They didn't make it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just get passionate about that. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, like I just don't believe it because, OnlyFans is not exactly the easiest thing in the world. So, please explain to me how you just made $50 million. I would love to hear it. I don't believe it. Yeah. So, but I mean, that said, one thing that's coming up that I can talk about, I mean, I can't give too many details, but we've been working on a reality show for quite a while. And we just got some funding to start shooting our pilot. So we're really, really excited about that.
I'm excited. Yay. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's called The Adult Life. You can find us on Instagram, actually. So you can follow that account and, start getting like some glimpses of what we're doing with that.
Okay, everyone. So make sure it is your homework tonight to go on Instagram and follow The Adult Life. I'm going to do that right now because I have my phone here, and I'm going because I have to do this because I will forget The Adult Life, even though is it adult or is this?
It should be The Adult Life.
Here we go. The Adult Life end.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here you are in green with a girl who got harassed by people.
Yep.
Is that Zoe Fox official?
Yeah.
Okay, well then there she is. All right, so and that's who got harassed. Okay, perfect. I love it. Well, I don't love the fact that she was okay. Yeah. All right. So yes, I followed you. I'll be following that, even though I feel as though there's a lot of juvenile antics that go on in that business. Wait, girl, did they make? Okay, so here's something. Right, this is kind of interesting. Hellstrom wants to know what happened to the talent doing it in stages, like first girl, then boy, girl, and then anal. Didn't they make more money doing it in stages? I don't think so personally. Like I didn't, because I never went there. I went straight for broke right away, or straight for Crazy Town right away.
Yeah.
Did you start off doing girl, then going slowly into things, or did you go straight for Crazy Town?
I mean, I did do stages, but not like super long stages like some people did. I mean, to answer the question as simply as possible, the agents, specifically Derek Hay, are what happened to girls doing things in stages. The agents typically want girls to do as much as humanly possible as quickly because the lifespan is so short. I mean, a girl's lifespan is typically about 2 years. So they want to capitalize on that as quickly as humanly possible.
That's awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. And I feel as though in the 90s we did have a better longevity because, I mean, we held ourselves together. I was not working that much. I don't think you were working as much as some of these girls are now when they first get in. Were you doing 2-3 scenes? Like, what's the most amount of scenes a day you do in a week?
I think only occasionally did I ever do 2 scenes in a day for different companies. I mean, back in the day, I knew a few girls that, would shoot as many as 3 in a day for different companies because they were that busy. I didn't do that because the one time that I booked 2 different companies in a day, the first shoot ran way over. And so I looked like an idiot. So I was like, nope, I'm good here. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. That seems like it's too much and it's so much work. And then you want to leave there, probably get a bite to eat, then go to your next scene, go back, take a breather. It's too much work. I don't know how the guys did it. I think the only guy that used Viagra back then was Tom Byron.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. I mean, Steve Hardman, God rest his soul. That guy, not the greatest thing to look at, but he could do.
Okay.
Or not Steve, Dave.
It's Steve Hatcher and Dave Hardman. They were like Tweedledee and Tweedledum always together. Yeah. So Dave Hardman, oh God. Ugh.
Yeah. Not hot, but he could do the job. So people hired him like crazy.
Ew. He won the lottery, by the way.
I heard that. Yeah. Yeah. There's some interesting ones over the years.
Like, how did that happen? How did someone like that win the lottery? Seriously.
I don't know.
Now he went from a 2 to a 10, right?
Well, I mean, he probably went to more like an 8.5 because he blew most of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I know I spoke to Rick Masters briefly once before, and then Steve Hatcher I speak to. I think he said he works for an ambulance company. So he's still around, but those guys were always working. I remember that, just those 3. That was the nickname I gave them, the Knuckleheads.
Yeah, I mean, they were all busy because there again, I mean, nobody wants to wait for a guy to get hard and come. And, if they have to pop the Viagra, it's because we've been waiting for them to get hard. And then once
Yeah.
they pop, we're going to have to wait for them to come. Like,
Ugh.
dude, we all just want to go home.
Well, then here's the other answer. Actually, Rochester Teen said, "Hey, Will, how are you?" So Tom Byron was the only one that admitted to it, which, I give him props for doing that. Okay. And here's the other thing. If you are going on a porn set and you can't ejaculate, to just use lotion or something. They had to do that for so many of my scenes because I was just a bitch to everyone. I had other things to do. And you're right. We just want to go home. You want to play with your cat. You want to get your nails done. You want to go to the movies and do like normal real life things. Yeah, but I guess it takes too hard to get them. It's too difficult to get a money shot, and that's true. What's the biggest challenge you've had so far, booking content on your own? If you've done such a thing, you've booked your own stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, I book my own stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, the cancel culture
Yeah.
has been the biggest annoyance.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's so hard to get people to show up. And I mean, I'm very, very blessed in that I have some people I work with pretty regularly and they're great. But yeah, booking new people can be very stressful because you just never know.
I think the biggest or the oldest excuse in the book for the girls, my dog's sick. My dog isn't feeling well. Or what's the other one? I just got a flat tire. It's always those two.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, stuff happens. I get it. Like, I mean, I just did a scene with Claudia Marie for our sites, and like I love her. She's so hilarious, and we had a lot of fun. Like, yeah, her husband's hilarious because he's just like, okay, I want you to be mean, and I'm like, okay. He goes, well, can you do that? You're so nice. And I'm like, then you've obviously never seen me as a dom.
Oh.
Just sit back and wait. So we do this scene, and he's like, wow, that was so good. I guess he was editing it and he had to like stop and bang her because he got so excited because I was so mean. I'm like, well, you said you wanted mean. So fast forward to, my husband, Jack, booked a scene with her. And the night before, she had been out and she threw her back out. And so she calls him and she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm not a flake. And and we're just like, no, we don't think you're a flake. That's totally cool. I mean, you got giant boobs. It probably isn't hard to throw your back out. So feel better, like it's crazy how when somebody calls you with an excuse and you actually know them.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay. That makes sense. Like we're totally cool. And when somebody that you don't know, you're like, yeah, right.
It depends also what the excuse is, I feel. Like when that broad canceled on me the second time, Bonnie Blue or whatever her name is, she looks so much like the other girl. I got them confused. She said she was sick after AVN. So I was cool then. Then the third time, well, I can't do the podcast, but I got time for coffee next week. It's like, that's the same day I was asking for the podcast.
Yeah,
no. And I think my last words were, do you want me to go after you? Because this is where you're pushing me to now. And like, that was like, then the gloves came off. They went flying over the moon. Yes.
Oh, so she got old school Jasmine.
Oh yeah. But with the newer, the refined old school Jasmine with the more eloquent ways of going after you. Now, Jasmine, who gives a fuck? I don't care. But yeah, but I will definitely see you next month when I'm in Vegas for sure. And, I'll be there for WrestleCon. Could you just throw your socials at us and anything else you'd like to plug? Because it's that time of the evening. And I do want to have corned beef hash and cabbage.
For sure. So you can find me on X. It's Kiki_D'Aire. That's Daire. You can find me on Instagram. That's Kiki D'Aire _. You can find me on TikTok where I talk about all of my gut issues and normal people stuff. So that's just Kiki D'Aire on TikTok. You guys already went and followed the Adult Life's Instagram. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it. And I mean, those are really the important ones. There's OnlyFans, which that is actually, if you go to my URL, kikidaire.com, it takes you directly to my OnlyFans. So I also have a loyal fans. And yeah, that's all the important stuff.
That whole thing with the gut, I started taking Armour colostrum. Do you take that?
Well, I mean, I'm just now finally getting an actual diagnosis. And so for what I know of so far, it's going to be mostly diet for me. Like I can't have like seeds and nuts anymore because of my condition. So yeah, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to really pinpoint it and, do the right thing to get the reversal so that then I can go back to having things like strawberries.
Yeah, it's such a tough journey, but that Armour colostrum, I like it because it tastes like powdered milk. So sometimes I'm only supposed to take 2, but I find myself like having 4 of them. It's like the sick addiction. Then another thing I just started taking from Whole Foods was You Got This, GUT, another amazing probiotic. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things you got to navigate, and hopefully you get through it. I'll check out your TikTok because I want to see what you're doing and how it all works out for you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, I mean, it's been so great to see you on here. I'm looking forward to seeing you next month. Thank you.
Yes, you too. It's going to be amazing. Stay well, and I'll see you next month. Have fun tonight, and tell Katie I said hi.
I will. And thank you so much, you guys. See you soon.
So let me go ahead and kick her off the studio. But yes, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Yeah, thank you, BX Rep. Yes, we've got that as well, Yusuf. Thanks. I mean, it's been fun. I always like catching up with people from that era, and I also like getting new friends on the show. It's fun. I'm easygoing most of the time. Yep. So it's time to go celebrate St. Paddy's Day. Look at the Irish. When Irish are singing. But make sure you follow Kiki on her socials, Kiki D'Aire, and go on That Adult Life on Instagram. It sounds like it's fun, and she's obviously a girl with a lot of things going on. And that's one thing I find with the 90s girls versus nowadays. You get these girls that are so, multifaceted, doing a bunch of things. I'm not saying the younger talent doesn't do that, but there's certain ones that are out there doing stuff. I'm looking forward to having a couple of roommates on the show. It's either next week or the week after. This girl Amina and her roommate Willow. They're very cute. It's one of the newer clients from my friend's PR company, from Blue Seal PR, Blue Movie PR. But anyway, everyone be safe tonight, and don't forget to catch up on the restreams if you've not watched this full interview. Look at the other videos, and be kind to one another. Not really. Just be nice to people that are nice to you, and don't forget to stay frosty.